FOMO, fear of missing out, is primal, it's primitive. It's encoded in our DNA, it's in our default settings. So let's just acknowledge that it's in our default settings that we fear missing out. Also, let's talk about how much it exists in our culture, in our schooling, in our families. Do you not remember being compared to somebody ever? You know, little Johnny could do the puzzle faster than you could, or you could do it faster. Either way, there's a lot of comparison that always happens in our culture. And so that exists kind of widespread. We probably do it to our children too. Those of us who've got children, we do. Even if we don't admit it, we mentally compare. So fear of missing out, FOMO, it is the enemy of rest. If you have a high amount of FOMO running through your veins, then that's going to keep you from ever resting, because there's always someone doing something. And have you noticed that person who's doing, or that something that's happening, usually you don't know much about that person's circumstance. And I bet you if you knew about those people who are going and doing, you probably wouldn't trade shoes with them. You wouldn't want to be in their lives. We often compare ourselves to people who we don't know anything about. The other danger of FOMO, besides keeping us from resting, is that it actually prevents you from achieving what you want to achieve. It is such a distraction. I might want to do something in my life and achieve something, but if I'm constantly looking at what my peers or my colleagues or others are doing, I might get distracted. I might not follow what my heart or what I wanted to do because I'm going down a rabbit hole following what they're doing. So there's a lot of risks in living with a lot of FOMO. And our kids are living with tons of FOMO. You got to where you are now, not because you followed everything and you did everything that everybody else was doing. There's probably a number of things you can think about that you never did. You never maybe did that volunteering thing. You maybe never took that course. You didn't go to that university, and you are where you're supposed to be now. So this fear of missing out connects you with people who you might not want to be connected with, and it actually disconnects you from people who you really should be connected with. So there's a real danger in living with a lot of sort of FOMO, or at least not being aware of it. So what I want to do is I actually want you to have FOMO. And what I want you to have FOMO about is I want you to imagine yourself 10, 15, 20, 30 years out, and I want you to think, what would I really fear missing out on?